haunted. I'm haunted. I'm a bit distracted. Like, whilst all you...
Hello, hello, hello. Let me check. Always do the mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Well, I think you can hear me. That's all good. Right. Get myself comfortable. Hope everyone's okay, whether you are watching this live or you happen to watch it later on. I hope you're good. There'll be a bit of background music, but nothing too loud. If it is too loud, do let me know, and I'll turn it down a little bit. Jeff, hello, mate. Let me just make sure I've got the stream up. Yeah? Do some little admin stuff. So we've got 3 miniatures we want to look at tonight. We've got this one here, this kind of swashbuckling guy from Moonstone. We've got this guy. We've got the lady with the mechanical peg leg, the pirate lady. Chest. We've also got the goblin with an octopus on his head. These are the last 3 of the... Clark. Hello, Clark. These are the last 3 of the Moonstone miniatures before I get into the big Kickstart box set. So we only have 3 to go, which is not... Got the stream up on there, which is good. One second. Okay, yeah, we're good. We are live in all of the places we need to be. Let's crack on then, I guess. Right, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. I might go with the swashbuckler tonight, just because I think he might be quite a simple one to just. We get him finished in the one stream, then I can always jump on another one. Like he might be not too complex to. Hopefully the camera's all right. Camera. That looks to be about right. Okay, cool. Crack on then, shall we? Oh, I need to put some. I haven't got any water out. Oh. Yeah, I hope everyone's good and having a good Thursday. Almost at the weekend. I'll kind of talk to myself, but go quiet for a bit because there's no one chatting. Then that is the nice thing about these streams, is that I'm going to sit here and paint anyway. Hello, Clark. Hello, Mort. Mate. Nice thing about painting. That I was gonna. All I do is sit here and do what I'm gonna do anyway, which is paint a minute. So I just turn the cameras on. That as well. Okay. Oh, the mic's a bit quiet, is it? Thanks, Mort. Let me turn down the music a little bit. Let me turn up the mic a little bit. Appreciate the feedback, mate. It definitely helps. Testing. Let me go up a little bit. Testing. Hopefully that's a bit better now. Just raised it a little bit. I don't want it to go too crazy, but yeah, just a tad. Okay, cool. Hopefully And I'll try and talk a bit. I'll try and bring the mic a bit closer to my mouth as well, because I tend to sometimes not talk to the mic. And they are good mics, but obviously, you know, if I talk away from it, then you're not going to hear things. I can always tap it up a little bit more, mate, if it's still not. Let me go up by a couple. Let's go 1, 2. Let's go to that. See if that works. Cool. Good stuff. Thanks, pal. How are you, Mort? You good? Hello, Alex, mate. You're right. Got 10 minutes. Cheers, buddy. You're all settled in for the game. An easy one, mate. Gonna keep this guy quite like lots of browns and stuff. With the Moonstone stuff, I do sometimes go a bit over the top with this guy. I mean, more traditional colours. So this is another Moonstone miniature. We've got 3 left out of the collection. Well, I say out of the collection, I mean out of the original. Since then, I've got the Kickstarter come through from the next sort of expansion game. So I've got another 30 odd miniatures, I think, roughly. No, probably not. Probably 20. Not surprised. But yeah, this is the last of this kind of set, so get them all finished. Because then I'm going to do something a bit different. I want to paint up. I have here the project ready to go. I have an orc Blood Bowl team that I want to paint up. So my eldest son's interested in giving it a go, so I have this orc team sat here. So yeah, I want to do these next. And I want to do them in like a really grimy fashion. So yeah, that'll be a nice little project to do next. Before I start the next big lot of Moonstone, I can have a bit of a palette cleanser maybe with the other project. Yeah, let me just move that out of the way so I can make sure I can see everything. Okay, so I've got kind of his shirt, that arm, that's all arm. Like that. This is where I might need to look at getting glasses. Definitely feel like his arm is out of his shirt there. Cloak and that we can get to. He's got leather pads on all his clothes and stuff. So the only thing the thing I will do in some colour is I'll do. I think his shirt is going to be colourful. And I always think like pink shirt, swashbuckling pirate is. This does not want to. The stream does not want to load on this. Got the stream over there, but what? Must try and get a gap. Keep adding new miniatures. Bunch of new. No idea how well they play. Not had a chance to sit down and play. Son has of a girlfriend. Yes. Come back to that. Guys, let me know if you can hear the music or not. It should be a bit of background music. Louder and should be able to hear. Getting out. All this kind of leather padding stuff. Don't want to do. Let's quickly grab some black Templar and let's do. Buckler. No worries, mate. Good luck. Anytime I won't wish you luck as we're playing us. Otherwise, I hope. Faith Lily, hello. Thanks for coming, say Faith. You missed Clark earlier. Clark was in the chat. Had a family get together. Need the future F1 driver. Right. Need a colour for you. Might just go down the red. It's a bit. I think the red's brown. Wanted into tame. Oh yeah. A race this weekend, Faith, as in an F1 race this weekend. Go in and gonna get a little bit up. I did. Leather armor that you We'll keep checking the chat, but if it's fairly quiet, I will just crack on. Much done in the time that I feel like I can definitely. I'm looking forward to painting York. So I did a miniature a long time ago, like a grim dark fashion, a lot of oil-based stain, I guess it was. Then use alcohol to then rub it off into create like a rubby, grimy effect. Quite common for that stuff used. I've really enjoyed doing it. Really cool process to go through. Blood Bowl team. Hello, Jim. Mate. Yeah, we're in that messy stage of the paint job where it will come true. How is the world in the US today, Jim? Is it, right, we don't have to get into politics, but I guess are you happy or unhappy? Oh. Gourmet ham. Nice. I like the name Gourmet Ham. Saying the retro chef is not an hour. Ah, okay, Jim. Fair enough, mate. The retro chef would love a bit of gourmet ham. Yeah, Jim, you're absolutely right, mate. Yes, yeah, there could be no question, can they? So, yeah. Yeah, it's at least you know where you stand, right? So, the Moonstone models are indeed very cool, mate. I have painted a good number of them at this point. So they are indeed very cool. There's no two ways about it. So yeah, at this stage we're just getting all the base colours down, so it doesn't look very pretty. It looks a bit. Well, first not getting my AC replaced today, so at the moment I have no seat in the house. Oh crikey! What's the What's it like in Florida this time of year? If I remember rightly, it was quite nice actually this time of year. October time, late October. I guess early November. But if I remember, it's still very warm. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully not a complete another hot box. Yeah. Yes, I suppose it's the best time to get it replaced. Nice, Midwest, nice. We're in the UK right now. We're getting proper miserable British time of the year causes a lot of. If the weather can ever be affected by sorry, weather can ever affect your mental health. It's this time of year. Won't see the sun very much. All grey. Might get the odd sunny day, very odd. Then well, what we see, as you probably know, the British are a bit. We basically have meh weather all year round. To us, it feels like extremes. So when we have a hot day, nothing like what you guys get out in the US. When we have a cold day, it's nothing like what you guys get out in certain parts of the US. But to us, it's crazy because not used to any weather. 56 degrees. That in English money. It's 56 degrees would be you'd be on fire. Yeah, we're a hot day. A hot day in the UK is like, well, actually, a heat wave would be 33 degrees, which is what I don't know what the conversion is. Alexa, what's 33 degrees in Fahrenheit? Yeah, 91.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be freaking heat. 56. That can't be thinking it. Alexa, what's 56 degrees in Fahrenheit? But yeah, so we don't moan regardless. We're in that real grey type, British grey weather for a few months. Oh, Chef, give over, mate. This looks awful. Come on, come on. Look, Chef, there's someone in the chat called Gourmet Ham. I think it's a brilliant name. Might be one of your secondary accounts then. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, it'd be nice if a few of the old OT came over, but don't always. I'm not sure of how many of them watch streams and stuff. I know they watch Sundance's probably Hangouts. Yeah. No one can say Kansas to me. In my head, Kansas just looks like the Wizard of Oz movie. Yes, yeah. One of those times where I'm actually not going to have to paint the hair because the hair will be putting some grey into it. He's actually wearing one of them. I don't know what they were called. What were these wigs called that they like curly, almost like what they wore in court and stuff. I thought that was a black. Exactly. Definitely time for an eye test. Yeah, I miss the seasons in the UK. We don't really get them anymore. But like when I was a kid, you were guaranteed snow at Christmas and nice autumns, and you kind of knew where you stood. But the UK's weather has definitely changed. I don't know if it's just me being old and reminiscing of what used to be, but I definitely feel like either the seasons have shifted. I don't know, maybe global warming. I don't know, something different place in the universe. I don't know, whatever it might be, or don't get the same weather patterns. I don't know if anyone else in the UK would agree. I certainly don't feel like our Christmas. We've had Christmases now where bloody the sunshine, lovely day outside. Cool Cutlass is powdered wig. That's it. Powdered wig. That is. No, we don't get much snow. My screen's going all over the place. Not really. Certainly not where I am. Anyway, I'm in the south of England. The more north you go in the UK, you'll get more snow. Certainly when you go into places like Scotland, or really far north, but certainly down the south where I am, I'm only I'm proper southeast London. I live just on the border of London, so London and the southeast of Kent. So we don't get, when we get snow here, it doesn't really go crazy. Some years we get a bit, but again, compared to US snow, you get nothing. I'm talking it doesn't go past your shoe. I've seen images of places in the UK where guys are walking over the car. So again, we don't get the weather extremes. Not even close. British like to talk about the weather, but the reality is we get very mid-level weathers. Like our weather is very unimpressive for the rest of the world, but we will talk about it. Why we love a holiday abroad is a term, Brits abroad. Have nothing better than jump on a plane and fly off. No one holidays in the UK if they can. Oh, well, the good news is we've got quite a lot of the base colour. Hair, we're going to leave the hair right to the end. So. Oh wow, awesome! Heading to Belgium for the month. Oh man, that's going to be wicked. That was one of the best trips I ever did, Jim. Going Normandy for the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings. That was such a cool trip. I've got a digital photo frame on the wall here that cycles through some of my favourite places, and that trip was something that I wasn't planning on going on. It was like a spare of the moment thing, and my mate had kind of organised it with his brother, and his brother couldn't go, and me and Blake just jumped on the trip. It was crazy, man, crazy. But yeah, going to Belgium for that would be pretty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's awesome in all of the wrong ways, but it was so good to go and do it. So good to go and see it. I would definitely recommend anyone go, even if you go outside of obviously big anniversaries. Although, to be honest, the 80th anniversary is probably going to be the best one to go to, because you're not going to have probably any, well, certainly at 90, you're not going to have any. Thinking of any veteran. Yeah, it was brilliant, Jim. Yeah. So I'm so glad that so glad I didn't also like think about it too much, and it wasn't cheap. I mean, our hotel room, again, I don't know how this relates into US prices, but the hotel we stayed in was £400 a night, and it was nothing. It was nothing. It was one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed in, quite frankly. But it was so worth it. Yeah. Oh, wicked, mate. That's wicked. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? When you think about that sort of stuff, it's bonkers. Different breed of man. What I did love was not even going to try and be clever and say I knew what regiments they were or what they were, but when we went to I want to say it was St Mary Glees, but I don't think it was, where they had, oh, where was it? Anyway, one of the museums, come back to me. They were showing the paratroopers, and they were showing the training. There were some US, I assume, paratroopers there as well, like young guys, like they look super young, kids almost. And they were talking about how some of the training still reflects today. Like, it's really nice to see them standing there looking at guys who they are essentially the modern day equivalent of and stuff. And it was really cool moments like that brought you out. Or you'd be standing on Omaha Beach or something, and bagpipe player would come on. Planned, wasn't like an event. It was just someone who just did it. So cool. I think it might have been, yeah, I think you're right. But it was just so good. Like, so many little things that happened. Honestly, at some points you felt like you're being transported back in time. We we were driving my friend's car most of the time, and you turn down a road. It was like you just gone into Band of Brothers or something. You're like, no one else around, and all of a sudden a bunch of soldiers would come out of nowhere over the grass into the field. And they're all doing little reenactments. They're all doing like little things, but like totally on their own, just for them. And if you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't see it, you would never have known. But there were so many, hundreds of vehicles, hundreds of things going on. It was amazing. It was amazing. All doing their own thing, way to remember and celebrate and all this. When we did go into Semiramis, it was like a celebration, being one of the first towns liberated. Dancing and drinking and partying and all sorts. It was, well, I've got about a million pictures. Oh, you've seen. Yeah, I can't. Definitely a once in a lifetime in that respect of how it was done opportunity. So glad. So much fondly to look at. Right, let's get my head back in the game of. Need some white. That's what I need. Go with. Have some green. I do want to go back. I want to go back with my dad. Not fussed about it being like a big. I want to take him back when it's quiet, so going back, like even the year afterwards. Obviously go to the and even things we didn't know, so we all of a sudden, we weren't even planning to go to it. We ended up going to the called the Purple Heart Road, Purple Heart Hill or something, but there's a museum at the top of it. Big long road, been constantly shot at and a bit as well. Like I say, there was just something everywhere. So many incidental things. Although the worst bit being when old Biden showed up, when he wasn't scheduled to be there, closed the roads that we were on for 4 hours. One of the days we were stuck in the car for 4 hours. Hundreds of other cars couldn't move. And he was obviously at he was at Omaha Beach the day before for the big ceremony. Second day after D, he made an unannounced visit to Omaha Beach. Of course, that meant that they had to suddenly react and kick everyone out and close all the roads and all that. It's like ridiculous. It's absolutely not. Sat in that car, nothing to do for God knows. So I got video footage of the motorcade, about 40 cars or something coming in. I was not a Biden fan that day. Like, not many of the Americans that were there were much of a Biden fan. We were talking to people in their cars, like there were Americans that were like missing their flight. Cause they'd come obviously for the D-Day bit on beach, and they were like popping back, had to go and get their flights and stuff. There were people missing planes, trains, all sorts. Chaos. definitely. Obviously, we knew. Obviously, being the 80th, we knew all of those people would be there. Kind of had to accept it. Just the fact that the museum had even said like they weren't expecting. Just he got up that day, like, I want to go back to. Don't get to say no to him. People and get up. But the one thing you can't do, is when you are visiting these places with the stuff that people went through. You can't sit there in your air-conditioned car with food and drink and all that, and have any level of moaning, given what people did 80 years prior. So you dare not say a thing. You suck it up, man. You're like, yeah, no, this is fine. This is good. To be honest, we were having good fun with all the Americans. We're blasting out bagpipe music, guitar, and lots of songs. We got called Charming. British. I look forward to pictures and stuff, definitely. Hopefully you'll stick them in your Discord and stuff, that'd be... Oh mate, yes, yeah. Bocage. I've never really seen it before, and you know, we talked about it in the gaming sense, and yeah, you're right, it's not till you see it, you go, shit, this stuff was no joke. This stuff is... Fantastic trip. Leaves you very thoughtful. Bridge Factorium, hello there. Very much for coming in and saying hello. We are painting up yet another Moonstone Mini. Never paint enough. The Moonstone game is by Goblin King Games, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's either Goblin King or Goblin King Games. The little boutique sort of company. Originally, I think it was just a one-man band, and now, so not seen it before. Very, if you know things like Jim Henson's workshop, so you know Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, that type of stuff, Neverending Story, all those types of films that had like really amazing puppetry in them and really sort of really high fantasy worlds. That's what this game is like. So whilst this character I'm painting here isn't very high fantasy, I'll grab you some that are. Yeah, so you've got things like goblins riding on pugs. You've got gnome airships being powered by cycling. You've got big giant were bunnies. So you've got all sorts, and the miniatures go on and on and on. They get crazier and weirder and more wonderful. And it's a little skirmishing game. So you play with about, I think it's 6 models each. You can have slightly more, but it might be 12. It might be 12 maximum. I think it's either a 1v1 game where you have 6 each, or a 1v1v1 where you all have 4 miniatures each. I think it's a maximum of 12. And the idea of the game is that you've got 4 rounds to collect Moonstone around the table. So the whole idea of this world is, at night, this precious material drops into the earth. Your guys are going to go out and collect as much of it. If they don't collect it, it dissipates. When the sun rises, it all appears. So you've got these kind of whimsical characters going out there, all little powers and stuff, and it's really fun. It has a really cool bluffing technique, bluffing mechanic, where when I'm doing spells against you, I might tell you that I'm going to do it at a certain strength. You might believe me or my bluff. Then there's benefits and bad things happen depending on whether you guess or not. And so it's got some really cool, and even the fighting is sort of happening at the same time. So you're blocking or striking, I'm blocking or striking, and we have combat almost real time with each other. So it's got that kind of like dueling to it. So it's a really cool game, definitely worth checking out. Yeah, exactly, and it really plays on that nostalgia for that sort of period of time. So if you're into if you remember those kind of movies, you'll definitely remember some of these. And they're not, obviously, they're inspired by. I'm not saying he's copied it. Definitely has an inspiration, Jim Henson type stuff. So yeah, really cool. So yeah, Goblin King Games. If you look for Goblin King Games, you'll find it. But also, if you just search for Moonstone the game, you'll find Moonstone. Yeah, and like I say, it is a sort of boutique company. So the miniatures aren't cheap. They're sort of GW prices, I guess. They're all resin miniatures. They're really nice. Yeah, they are lovely. They are really nice. I definitely recommend having a look, mate. It's won loads of awards and stuff. It only came around maybe 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and since then it's done so well. It started off as a Kickstarter, so a bunch of us that were into it, we got into it on Kickstarter, but now you can buy it all retail. Yeah, the artwork's amazing. Even the box art on the actual buy look fantastic. Yeah, definitely worth checking out, mate. And like I say, you can get into it quite easily because you only need a minimum of 4 miniatures each. You can literally buy some of the troop boxes they do, have 4 miniatures in it, and that's it. That's your army done. Like, you just paint it up. Someone else has another 4, and away you go. You can expand it to 6 if you want. And there's no, even though the boxes sell like factions or whatever, there's nothing stopping you just taking 6 or 4 of your favourite miniatures. There will be some synergies that happen between them, but you can take stuff that you think is cool. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it's a great little fun game, and the miniatures are really fun to paint because no 2 miniatures are the same in any way, so you just feel like you're painting something quite fresh every time. So from that point, sometimes you can feel like, not that there's anything wrong with any other game. I've painted and played a ton of like Warhammer and stuff like that, but it is nice to mix it up. Yeah, it is definitely one I'd recommend, mate. Yes, I think family friendly, especially for people that maybe don't get into it, especially because the combat, like there's no throwing, you know, I take a handful of dice and throw a handful of dice and you throw a handful of dice and we compare numbers. The combat, I don't know if I could show, the combat is, let me grab it, mate, I'll show you, because it's, I must have them to hand. Nearly kicked over my radiator then. Yeah, so this is like the core box you get. You can get this thing here, and this comes with 4 miniatures. So you play this sort of warband against this kind of warband, and then if I just quickly show you. Each character, obviously I've got tons of cards, so I've got tons of characters, but each character has a really simple card to read. This is their energy. So the blue things are energy, the whole lot is their life. So as they lose life, they also eventually lose energy because they're getting beaten up, they're getting tired. They've got some special abilities, and they've got, like, you know, melee, and that's how many cards they get, that's how far they can move, sort of thing. So that's just your cards. You get a bunch of those with your characters. Obviously in the box you'd have 8 because you've got 8 characters in. And then you've got magic cards. So the magic's super easy. All you do is you take as many magic cards as your character says they have. So let's say I've got these. So I've got these 3 cards in my hand when I'm casting my spell, and my spell requires a green 2 to be played, you know, a green card with number 2 on it, but I don't have one of those, but I want to do my spell, so I'm going to put this card down, say that is the green 2. Now it's your choice. Say, oh Martin, I don't believe you've got a green 2 because I've got a green 2 in my hand. Or you could go, oh okay, I accept that's a green 2, so I don't have to show you. I can go, great, that's a green 2, put it back, and I do my spell. Or if I go, pulled me out, yeah, sorry, that's not a green 2, I show you, then you can play a card from my hand. You can then go, well, in that case then I'm going to replace that with this card. This card does something really, really bad. So that's all about bluffing and playing cards. So that's really cool. And then the combat is, again, take a bunch of cards depending on how many your character can play. Let's say it's 4 cards, and each one of these cards has an attack. So I've got 2 with rising attack, I've got one with falling swing and one with sweeping cut. And as you can see here, when I do a falling swing, you play a card. If you were to play a falling swing, we both do 0 damage to each other. If you were to play a sweeping cut, I do 3 damage to you, but I take 2 damage back. So you're trying to think, oh, what's the opponent got? Do I want to swing in high, swing in low? Do I want to guard? Do I want to do whatever? And we both play our cards. So I would go, right, I'm ready. You would say, right, I'm ready. And we go, okay, reveal our cards. I reveal our cards. You're doing rising attack. I'm doing falling swing. So you compare. I would do 3 damage to you, do 1 damage back to me. Simple as that. So the combat is really nice because there's no dice rolling. There's no checking a table to see how much armor. It's just a nice dueling combat. So it works really well from that. So yeah, give it a go, mate. So I definitely recommend it. Oh, nice. So I'm glad. Well, yeah, it's always nice when you stumble across a new stream and get to say hello to someone. So yeah, I appreciate you coming and saying hello, mate. I do appreciate it. Yeah, and I hope you get the game and I hope you check it out, because I think it's a great one to play with people that maybe you just want to get into, tabletop wargaming, but they don't want to do anything that's super high level. Yes, so as you play the cards, you then put them back and you reshuffle and all that sort of stuff. So you're going to get, but for instance, with the spell cards, there's quite a few ones, only a few twos. There's only one of each color in 3. So if you draw your cards, you've got a green 3 in your hand. Your opponent says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play that fireball, and I'm going to play a green 3. I stretch." You can obviously go, but you obviously, I know you're bluffing. Like you're bluffing. But there's a bit of that to it as well. So I would be sensible in thinking, oh no, maybe I'll just play a strength. Maybe I'll just play a green 2, or maybe I'll just play a green 1, see if I can get away with it. Okay? So it's the bluffing side of it's really quite cool. So yeah, and then you redraw cards for the next round and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a fun little game to. Yeah. Right, carry on with this. Like I say, it's become a really popular little game, and because you don't need massive amounts of miniatures and all this sort of stuff, resonated with people a lot. Four miniatures and you're in. Well, you just get the box set and you're away, and then you can then just look at the miniatures and just add whatever you like. Just look at them and don't worry too much about faction they are or who they belong with. Just play what's fun. I think a lot of games have lost that sort of rule of cool. Sort of worry about min-maxing. Don't worry about what the go with. What miniatures look really fun. I mean, you definitely can, min-max and stuff if you want. My oldest son, he definitely playing a little troop that is searched into and look to see what synergy there are between their ability. I tend I've won plenty of games, so I have to min-max everything. Well, yes, that is. I don't know how easy it is to, get stuff in the. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously shipping and stuff. Fun and games. Oh, really, I'm getting back to. Can't wait. Other one. Yeah, I don't know obviously where you are, but there are people that if they do go to most of the shows and stuff like that. I know in Europe, pretty sure they're at Essen. Yeah, it's in Germany, so I don't know if that's any good, but I do in the UK. I tend to pick stuff up when I go to gaming. Salute's a big one every year. UK Games Expo is big every year, and they're always at that. Game. Ah, Sweden, okay. Yeah, yeah. You do live in an expensive. Do you play other games, Reds? Into the usuals like the Sigma, etc. Or into like the historical stuff, or in, you start. What's the score? What's the score, Alex? Looking. Well, I'm not. Well, never mind me. What's going on with you, mate? How's Chelsea doing? I'm assuming they're doing good. Otherwise, you wouldn't come on here. You'd be off. You'd be off. You know, pacing or something. I'm assuming things are going well. More importantly, how Man United doing? Are they losing? Only because I like to wallow in their pain, but not. Is it really 6-0? Oh my god, is it really? Oh man, you're really winning 6-0. Bloody hell, mate. Oh, there you go. After all, I mean, you don't need to watch the second half, mate. You stick here. 6-0. You don't even need to see the second half. Job done. Bloody hell. 6-0. In the first half, 6-0. Yeah, pretty much only historicals nowadays since past 10 years plus. Gonna grab my tea, get cracking on a great Warhammer. Oh, great, nice. Well, Jim was a good person to know. James, who's in the chat there as well, he's a big historical war buff. He knows his stuff. Jim, someone is getting cursed on. Chelsea are playing in the, is it Europa League, Alex? I won't mention who's top of the Champions League. Oh, and also top of the Premier League. You know, just one of those things. Yeah, I mean, just top of two of the biggest league, the two biggest leagues. No, it's no biggie. Right, what do I want to do here? Kind of. Oh. 6-0 with a 6-0 with a show. A Cole Palmer hat trick. That is easy. Half time, bloody hell. Suppose 1-0 or so. You'd probably the scoreline you. Nerdy Geezer, hello mate. Coming in and saying hello. Nice tonight. Thanks to everyone who's popped in and just said hello. If you stuck around or not, it's nice to have a few people. So Jim's. I'm building the snow right now in PCS battle group to commemorate the 8th event of Battle of. Man, you just know so many things. Battle of Hurtgen Forest. German 116th Panzer versus 28th Infantry. Nice, mate. Would have been on Zoom. I had an email from my moron boss. I hope he doesn't watch the stream, mate. I hope he doesn't watch this stream. You just called him a moron. Hope he's not. Hope he could be well into the Hobby Lodge. You have no idea. You gotta be careful on the. You gotta be careful on the internet. Just look United 0-0, are they really? Oh, my heart bleeds from. Right, this is going okay. I'm happy with the results so far. Yeah, man, I'm trying to just do little scratches and stuff on leather armor, just hoping it. Like stress line. Yeah, if I try and zoom this in for you a little bit, yes, that's what we're doing. We're just going around trying to make it look a bit interesting. Now, this is actually, I have Jim to thank for this technique. So, Jim, who's in the chat, he once told me, I painted up some miniatures, he once told me you paint the inside of cloaks different to the outside. And ever since then, I've always done it, and it always looks like I have heard that before, Lee, and I don't know why that is. I have heard before people say, like, just at the very end of a sentence, the mic cuts out. I wonder if it's something to do with the noise cancellation. So let me have a quick tweak. Let me have a look. Because there is some settings you can do to well, tweak that basically. There's a filter that I have, which I think is called Noise Gate, and I'm going to adjust it. So let me know, is it happening now? So when I come away, I'm going to talk to the mic and I'm going to move away slightly. I'm going to move away now. Does it let me? Let me know if it happens now. Is it happening now? Now, I'm going to just adjust this up a little bit. I'm going to go to about there. Let me know if this is any better or not. Because basically what I think it is the lower this setting is, like if there was a fan in the background or something, it would pick up that fan. So what you do is a thing called a noise gate, where you try and make the mic activate at a certain level and then deactivate at a certain level. And I'm wondering, because obviously natural language is you tend to talk down at the end of a sentence, Maybe with Americans you wouldn't get this because Americans tend to go up at the end of a sentence, or we go down at the end of a sentence. I'm wondering if it's sensing that and then disconnecting. So let me know if I've just adjusted it ever so slightly. I've just tweaked it up a bit. Let me know if that's any better. Interesting to see. If not, I could probably turn that entire noise gate off, but then you might pick up more background noise. It's not doing it now. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it open. I'll leave the setting open, and as I'm streaming, if anyone notices it, let me know. I'll tweak it up a little bit further. But hopefully that may have fixed it. I've just tweaked it by about 4 points, so maybe that solved it. It only does it when I'm using OBS because OBS has these settings, and I didn't want it to always pick up all the background noise and stuff. But it'd be interesting to see whether it does it now. Just get more. Just shout at the camera. Listen to me, will you? Could do that, definitely. Just did it a bit then, but only slightly. Let me tweak up another couple of notches. I've gone up another couple of notches. Let's see. Because, like I said, I don't want it too sensitive. Because if it's too sensitive, then basically any noise will make it happen. But hopefully... Well, let's find out. Right, so we're now going to grab some Apocrypha White and we're going to do his hair. Where's my little vortex mixer? Where are you? There he is. Yeah, so for instance, let me see if this picks up. Yeah, so that's the noise cancellation in action, right? Because if I hold this here, you can hear it. But if I hold it slightly down, you can't hear my vortex mixer, which you would normally be able to hear because it vibrates like an absolute you wouldn't believe. So it's finding that balance between my voice carrying and things like a vortex mixer not vibrating on the microphone. It is a fine balance, but like I say, I've tweaked it up a little bit, so maybe that's all it needed. Needed a little tweakage. And also it's habit to remember to keep talking towards the mic rather than away. Which is why I might invest in what you have, the like lapel type mic. Because then it doesn't matter when I'm around or I'm getting paints or I'm getting up to find things, whatever it is, I can then mic attached. Oh, good. Oh, cheers, Lee. Thanks, mate. Let's see. We'll find out on the next podcast. Did I mention I've got a podcast? Podcast is on the channel, or on Spotify, or on iTunes, called The Nerd, The Chef, and The Hobby Lodge. Available from all of your podcasting locations. Might be done with this guy. Not too crazy with. Quite like him being quite natural. The only thing I don't like is boots. I might try and change the boots a little. Want the tops of the a lot lighter than the bottoms of the mixer. He's got them flapped over. So I might correct that. Yeah. Ah, cheers, Jim. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. I'm looking forward to the next one already. Good, it was good fun. Like with any of these kind of new endeavors, it's about then getting consistency and keep doing it. So it's great that we've done episode 1. We now need to keep that going and make sure that episode 2, 3, 4, right up to whenever going. I think we will. I think we're committed. Right. I think because the boots are quite light, I'm actually going to do those flap over bits quite dark. Once that now bright silver. There's my vortex. I'll put my vortex mixer down. There we go. I'm glad the mic seems to be a bit better, Lee. I can see it every now and then popping because I'm using the vortex mixer, but to be honest, I don't use it all the time, so it's not a big. I'd rather have better, consistent audio than worry about the odd bit of background. I'm constantly using the mixer. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that is really good for that reason. I listen to a lot of podcasts now. For that very reason, that you're doing other things whilst your podcast is. Be. Yeah. Hopefully the music is guiding it. I mean, obviously I've got the levels in front of me, so I can see doing fairly well behind. Oh, well, we're getting there. We're certainly getting there. Well, I need to move that thing now because otherwise I can't see. I can't see what you guys can see. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna do the tops of these boots. Dark brown. I'm worried. I'm in a rock and a hard place. Do them in a really, really dark brown. Because I don't want them to blend with the trousers, but I also don't want them to blend with the boots. Problem is, time is it? Coming up to the 2-hour mark, I think, guys. So. Right, I'm going to try and use my eyes here to see if I can pick out any of these little buckles. I'm certainly not going to try and pick them all out. Gesture to go with. Past the no one comes inspecting. Oh, paint on my Well, in the spirit of less is more, I think. Back and touching. Oh, sorry, I was probably because my face was nowhere near the microphone. When I'm here talking over here, probably doesn't help. I should be over here. If it's doing a really weird cutout, then I need to restart the engine. Let's see how quiet. So if I'm talking like this, you can hear me. I actually am talking quite quietly at this point. So the microphone seems to be responding. I think it's when I was over here. That's it. Yeah. If I go over here, look, what I probably need is a microphone that does omnidirections. But this is very much a singular direction microphone. So if I go over here and start talking, you can't hear me as much. If I come over here, you can hear me perfectly fine. So it's just learning to talk to the mic. Like I say, for painting, I probably need something that's here because I'm always moving around. When you're gaming or podcasting, like you don't move, your face is right here talking into the mic. But when you're doing this sort of stuff, you do move around a lot. I do tend to always kind of sit back and talk. Or if I've got the microphone, I am actually going to change the way this setup's done. This camera that I use is actually going to be mounted here, so it looks straight down rather than you. At the moment, you get like a diagonal angle, but in the future, it's going to be more here. So I could look at also having a microphone mounted more centrally, because then I'll be talking more centrally in the microphone. Or I could get something like that. I do like those lapel mics; they're pretty cool. Your one is very cool. I know they're very expensive, but I am still not happy. Tops of these boots. That is the last thing. It'll be the third time I've painted. I'm actually going to go with something completely different because I am struggling with the browns. So we're gonna let it dry, and then I'm afraid we're gonna paint it for a third time. I just ain't happy with it. I'm not happy with it, so it needs to change. Otherwise, I'm happy with everything else. I think everything else has come out alright, but tops of these boots. I think the only way I'm going to be happy with them is if I pop a completely different colour in. What might work? Sandy yellow. I think that has the possibility of. Not a bright yellow, but a. And the problem is I went too light on the boots, or the flap over. quite match, but I do think potentially like a yellow might work. Bit of a go between dirty yellow, dirty. Yeah, I will probably get one. If I remember rightly, that like nearly 200 quid for a pair, isn't it? Although I don't need a pair, I only needed one. Or I could just, I could just, I probably could solve it. I probably could just turn off this noise gate completely. I probably could move around a lot more and talk, but it's at that sacrifice of background noise. Because, for instance, I've got music on in here. You guys can't hear that music. You're hearing the music that's played into the stream rather than it coming through the microphone. You're not getting double. You're getting just a singular, clean stream of the music. If I was to turn the noise gate off, you would get the music from the stream and then also it coming back in on the mics. That is a plus point. Of course, I could get around that. I could just turn off the music from the stream and just come through the microphone. Then that's a bit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could look at that as well. I could look at the, these are the Yeti, no, these are, yeah, blue Yeti snowball. I've got two of them, and I think they're really good. I could look at upgrading to the circular one, because obviously it has mics all around it. I could look at that. I could change anything out the mic. I probably should do, really. I've had these Yetis, sorry, these snowballs, for a long time. You know, sometimes if it ain't broke, fix it. Right, so we've repainted the tops of his boots, and we're gonna try using this stuff as a kind of go-between. So we'll see. I think it might be all right. Otherwise, apart from these boots that are driving me a bit bonkers, I'm happy. I am happy. This looks all right. He looks like a good swashbuckler pirate. And while those boots are drying, quickly run black around the base. And we can get that drying as well, so we can frame him. Because then obviously I'll do the basing, as I've always done, guys. I always do the basing. You don't need to see me basing a miniature. It's way more interesting. Although if I've got a hobby goal next year, my hobby goal is to improve my basing. My basing is fairly basic, but I have seen even some not so great paint job be lifted by really putting time and effort in bases. Here's Jim. I can just get the tops of these boots sorted, mate. I'll Well, that black was very watered down. Right. Let that dry and then we'll be... Another layer of black and it will look alright. I must remember to drink. I think whatever this looks like, I'm going to make it not changing it again. Don't hate it, but that's the good news. I definitely didn't like the other stuff. There's enough of a colour difference for it to not just blend into the trousers. This is where he's obviously big long boots on and he tied them up and then he folds over the top. Yeah, that's good because I wasn't going to do it a blimmin' fourth time. Yeah, so just all obviously it's got to dry, so it's not going to look good. But I just wanted the colour difference between the boot, the trouser, and where he's folded the top of his boot over. Now, in hindsight, I probably would have done the boot in the yellow, flap in the sand, but I'm not going to revert. Well, I'm going to sneeze there. Oh, sorry about that. My noise cancellation didn't catch me sneezing. Yeah, so let me try and give you guys a bit of a close-up. In. Okay. Here's our swashbuckling. So yeah, in comparison to the other Moonstone miniatures, this one's not as crazy. Doesn't have as many crazy little details and all that going on, so you can get away with a more, I'm gonna say basic, but just a, you know, an easier paint job. So I think he's turned out all right. I think he looks all right. So I'm going to let his boots dry, and I'm going to come in with a slightly lighter. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to think about. The inner felt or the inner material of the boots would maybe be that kind of nice pristineness. Yeah, I'm not totally unhappy with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for backing me up, Jim. Looks good, mate. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. And the same with this. All I want to do is just scratch it up a little. Gold dull yellow, mate. Nothing too crazy. Just scratching. Break up the colour base. No, you want to read it out? Oh, it's well. That's a habit of a Twitch state. Reading, if you mean reading out every message, I always. Right, cool. I think he's done. I'm not sure there's any more to do. Gonna sit him and look at him for a second, just to see if there's anything else I want to tweak on him. Gotta be honest. No, I meant read the Montoya line. Where's that? Where have I missed? Oh, Leo, I'm gonna sound like I don't know what you're talking about. Because when you say Montoya, I always think of Scarface. Sorry, mate. It's going completely over my head at the moment. Right. Say hello to my little friend. That's what I think you're saying. Oh, Princess Bride. Oh, oh, I know what you mean. What's he saying? Yeah, I get it now. The swashbuckler. Yes, I do get it now. What is the line? What is it? Obviously, I know it's the you killed my father. I can't remember I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I can't remember, but I know exactly what you mean. What's the whole line? I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh, it's got out of my head. I hate you with that. Yeah, the swashbuckler. What a fantastic movie. Oh, you typed. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it above? It's gone off the screen. It's not come through on my screen. I've got all about the mic. Your input looks good. You know what you want to read out loud, but that bit hasn't come through. I can't see the other message. That's why I couldn't make sense, because it's not shown on my screen. The other message. That podcast, talk about mics. That's weird. Yeah. Sorry, I was completely not connecting the fact that I was painting a swashbuckler who looks like he could be out of Princess Bride with what Lee was. I clearly was having a senior moment. Now I'm desperately trying to rack my brain about the killing his father. Does it appear down here now? That's it. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Yeah, I wonder if it got blocked, mate. Yeah. such a good movie that is. When he's doing the poison cups. Ah, but you didn't know that I would know that you would know that I would swap the cup and you would know. Don't get films like that anymore. That is very, very weird. That is very weird that you said exactly the same. Yeah, you had killed my father, prepare to die. I wonder because you did it in. I wonder if you did it in speech quotes. I wonder if Lee typed it in quotes as well. And given that you're both admins as well, but anyway. Right, let's show this guy. Can probably call it a night, I think. Let me get the light on him. Yeah, this is him. This is Swashbuckler from Moon. Actually, I don't know his name. Look up his name, shouldn't I? What is this guy's actual name? Let's have a look on. Let me just quickly try and find his name. I'll go over here and go Moonstone. Oh. Apparently it's not in my search history. In the game, there we go. Let's try and find this guy's actual character. This is going to be terrible when I try and make this into a speed video because there's going to be points where I don't do anything on the screen for a little bit. What's the? He's not Commonwealth. What was he? He is Dominion Human, I think. There he is. His name is Swash. I could have guessed that, couldn't we? His actual name is Swash. No wonder he looks like a swashbuckler. Because his name is actually Swash. S-W-A. Sorry, S-W-A. So, yeah, there we go. That is Swashbuckler. He's all done, ready for the tabletop. We're going to obviously base him. He'll be based just like the others. So, with a dirt compound, like a mixture of dirt, with other bits and pieces, and then my magically infused grass tufts. The Moonstone is hitting the ground and infusing the fauna and flora of magic. Yeah, there we go. But that is him. Yeah, he's ready to go. I'm happy with the way he's turned out. So yeah, we've got another Moonstone miniature done and dusted, which means we've only got 2 left. We've got this one is Peggy with her peg leg, but she's resting on a treasure chest, and then this guy who is I can't think what this guy is, but he has an octopus on his head, or a squid on his head. A little goblin covered in weapons with his octopus holding several of them. Yeah, those are the last 2 to go. But yeah, there we go. You typed it 3 times, it still didn't come out. Bloody hell, mate. Swash off the TV, yes. Yeah, no, it's just Swash. He doesn't have a surname. He's just called Swash on the thing. But there we go, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out on the stream this evening. We've managed to get yet another miniature painted in the sort of 2-hour window. And that's it. I'm going to leave it for tonight. I'm going to clear up. I'll do the speed version of this on YouTube. So if you don't have time, if you are watching this back and you don't want to watch 2 hours, you can go and watch the probably 2-minute version paint job. Yeah, but I do appreciate everyone that came in, especially some new people. It's great to see some new people come and say hello. Freds came in, and it was someone else earlier, wasn't it? Who was here earlier? It was You Star Gamer was in. Oh, my chat's gone off the top. Oh well. Anyway, thank you very much for those that came in. It's always love, especially with new people as well. But also thanks to all the regulars that come in and say hello. So anyway. Cheers, guys. I can hit some buttons and I'll catch you next time. All right. Cheers, all. Ta-da. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.